Hiya. Doesn't it look like we both know where your granny's buried in our back garden? Like the way we
It's the sort of Stepford Cuckoo shit, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. It's like we weren't talking
secrets.
about anything we weren't supposed to talk
Yeah,
about just now. Do you know, actually, the last time that something smells really nice in here?
I sprayed away Febreze.
Did you spray
Thingy-majiggy
Febreze?
there.
By the way, somebody, who was it? Was a plug-in car guy. He has a few zingers
Ooh,
on
thinking of plug-in car
Patreon.
guy.
Talked about your debacle.
What did you do back?
Oh, the Letterkenny incident.
Letterkenny, but he called it, where were you again? Donegal. And he
The reason
called
we
it
don't have it.
Donegal, like the Donny. Donegal. It was very good.
Very
it was
good.
very clever. Props to you.
I've
Absolutely.
missed this entire thing.
Sorry, yeah. Luke basically took a shit in Letterkenny and can never go back there again.
No,
Did
not
Luke
Luke.
here?
No, why do
No.
I keep saying Luke?
Me.
Sorry, Luke.
Okay.
Sorry, not Luke.
I don't think I've ever been to Letterkenny.
He's like, I haven't even been. Never
That's
mind.
what you say. That's what you say.
That's what
See when the
that's
DNA
what
test come back
Sean's-
with no shits. you
Sean's
know,
saying that
wasn't it
now.
known?
He's like, I've never been to Letterkenny and
Yeah,
ever go back again.
I was never a member of the Letterkenny.
Yeah, I've never used a dunny in Donegal. Here we went to the Beehive. We did the Beehive. gig
Oh
together.
God, yeah. They made
Here-
us work for it now, didn't they?
Yeah, you were really funny. You
Oh,
were
thanks,
fucking brilliant.
thanks very much.
I had an easy job, like, because I was MCing.
Yeah, you were great.
In
You
fact,
were
that's
really
the best time I've ever. In fact, the second time I've ever like.
good. That second half was a blinder, I thought, from you.
It was a
Defo.
good wee crowd. Like,
I
but
think
that's
so.
easy
They were-
pickings.
I
'cause
think
they're
they were
Westies.
great. They were rowdy, but they were good rowdy.
Yeah.
And like there would be times where it was like you could tell you'd lost their attention, but you knew it would just come back, so you don't even address it. You just
Yeah.
keep talking, like because if you're gonna go fuck up, pay attention, you'd be there all day.
Do you know
You'd
what
be
I
like a
noticed though?
sub-teacher.
If they were talking during a set, it wasn't that they were going like, "Oh, did you catch that film the other night?" They
Yeah.
were like participating.
Yeah,
Because you might have said something really funny, and they were like, "Ah ha ha, like that's,
That's you. Yeah, that's you.
Yes.
It's always that.
That's you."
Absolutely.
Yeah, you get the women and all looking at the men going.
Here, that's you.
I was particularly proud of myself, so for one, and then I went, as a woman, I should probably never crack jokes like that.
Why would you say?
But I was talking.
Did you say the N word? Open
No.
with it.
No,
What's up?
never. I'm not a Protestant. But there was this girl, and I said about women wearing nice shoes and then wearing them on their fingers at the end of the night like an accessory.
Yeah.
And her boyfriend next year was like, and I went, he's thinking that about you, love.
Yeah.
Do you
Oh,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
But it was the way you went, really.
They love that shit.
Yeah.
I always love as well, if you ever do any sort of joke about your appearance, you can suddenly feel people looking.
Yeah.
You know, if you were doing a joke about your forehead, you can feel people's eyes move there. Do you know
I
what I mean?
think I know exactly who you're talking about when you're
Do
talking
I?
about that joke.
Well, no, I don't. Who's got a forehead joke? Who's got a big forehead, actually?
This is not about anymore, but I remember this girl.
She. That's nice. Now it's a 1 in 30, maybe.
I know. Somebody made like an open mic a joke about the forehead. She was like, and I have a massive forehead. And instantly everybody just looked up at her forehead, and I just remember thinking,
Yep, that's it.
and I don't want to say it because it's really catchy. She's really, really pretty, like, but I just was like, oh, right, yeah. But you wouldn't have ever noticed it if she hadn't pointed it out.
Right, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you
kinda
wouldn't have
love
thought
actually.
that.
I love an appearance joke that's like there right in front of you and you don't even notice till they
Yeah,
say
you know,
it.
you don't even see it.
And
Do you
it's
know,
there.
like, I would love to see somebody with like a squint or something, you know, call it out. You know, like, see that too badly parked Datsun joke that I was
Yeah,
telling
that
you
was
about
great,
Leanne
yeah.
McCooey. It came up in my memories the other day, and it often comes into my mind when I see anything wonky, because she wrote that under a post that I shared about. I just thought it was the greatest segue that ever happened.
Big fan of the
Ever.
McCoo.
Right, McCoo is fucking legend.
Mm.
But there was this news article,
Mm.
and it said, now just over to Peter in London. Peter, all eyes on this case. And you looked at Peter, and, you know, he had the one eye going to the shop and the other one
Oh,
coming
I
back
saw
for
this.
like, it was literally like
Yeah.
that. And he went, and I was like, she done that and fucking
Yeah,
purpose.
must have known.
There's absolutely no way.
Do you think there's some newsreaders secretly trying to get a little wee viral clip going? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they sort of see somebody and they go, I'll make a gaffe.
Yeah.
And then I'm basically
And I'll just innocent it off.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know. Like, my brother
Title my book
in law
after it.
keeps, an old. This is my brother-in-law. Yes, I'm calling him out. He's funny as fuck, but he just has this real quirky sense of humor, and he has one of those old Sky like cue boxes. Do you know that you get and then they replace it whenever you? But he's kept his, and it's still linked
Why is
up.
that? Is it conspiracy?
Because he
thing?
has all of his favorite fuck ups
recorded. Right.
So
That's
like,
so old school, isn't it?
Yeah, that's like you've
yeah.
been framed sort of shit, you know.
He has his very
that in a
own
DVD.
personal like you've been framed. So he has.
He has a wee CD player and all, like, and it songs like da 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 da. He's
wouldn't be surprised.
He winds up a gramophone.
Do you know what he gets? I'll not even joke. He could get. He plays the ukulele. He'd get out his own wee fucking uke and be like, dunk, 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 dunk. But there's one, and it
Your bloodline is precious. We need to keep
I
this.
swear to God, he's mad. This is my brother-in-law. This is what married
Oh,
into my
right.
bloodline. We have no fucking chance.
Well, it's your job to preserve that, whatever that
And
is.
he's married to the Seeing sister, so she happens to be handcuffed to a lunatic one way or another.
Yeah.
But you know, he has one on it that's like this guy, and he's the weatherman, and it's like, yeah, hopefully if he can make a good prediction that actually comes true, and the weatherman goes. But he tries to palm it. He realizes that the camera has cut to him, so he
Right.
tries to make it look like he wasn't doing it,
I love that shit.
and he goes like, you know.
I could have sworn I heard somebody in CBBC say cunt, right? And nobody on CBBC. I mean, when I was young, I saw it on TV.
I was like, why is Luke watching CBBC?
Got to wank over something, but
Yeah.
I could have sworn he said cunt, and it was because it panned to him too early, and he said
Yes.
something about all that cunt, and like I felt like nobody noticed. Like I hadn't recorded it or anything, and it did
Bet
become
you
one of
our
those
Joe
things that
has it.
people talk. Oh yeah,
He'll have it. I'm telling you now.
yeah. What was he doing watching CBBC? You know.
See people saying cunt. I know, like, whenever my kids stopped watching CBBC, I kind of lamented. And you can always, do you know, if you ever have have children and you want to do like your very own, probably unauthorized and, you know, immoral social experiment on them, you can get one child to watch CBBC
Yeah.
in their very formative toddler years,
Yeah.
and then let the other one watch Peppa Pig.
Oh, see what happens.
And one of them will be quite proficient in reading and, you know, quite clever. And the other one will be
A pig.
funny as fuck, but a bit of a pig. Yeah.
Right. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that's a good idea.
CBBC is like all approved by like educational psychologists, you know,
Aye.
CBBS.
Yeah.
But I remember whenever they stopped watching it, Tom Hardy read a bedtime story, right?
Yeah.
And I was like,
Not because of that.
kids,
Let's go get these kids back.
we're watching this tonight. Like,
Right. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, and I had it recorded and all on my Virgin box. Irony. Because I was like, Tom Hardy's reading me a fucking story. He's
Yeah.
like, right, everyone, time to get into bed. And I was like, I'm here, Tom! Give a sheep! I'm only joking.
Do you think Tom Hardy? I feel like he made a conscious decision 10 years ago to just go. I've got a new voice now. I'm going to sound like this because he did. Like he always sounded great. He had a big hard bastard voice, and then it felt like in 2010 he was like, "Nah, I'm a wizard now." He'd
Yeah.
go like, and that's why.
Yes.
Like
Yes,
yeah,
I was born in the shadows.
yeah.
No one knew me before I had them on.
I found something out about him the other day because I fell down a YouTube rabbit hole of Irish Traveller boxing and their call out videos and everything, and they're fucking rough as well. But like, there's a full on hour-long documentary, and I looked it up, and Tom Hardy based his Bane voice off an Irish Traveller boxer.
Fuck off. Is that why you couldn't understand the word he was fucking saying?
That's why he's like, Batman, you look like you've got Down syndrome, Batman.
Look, come on out and fight me, Mungan.
We're going to record it.
The
Sell a
Mungan
cassette behind
instead
the bar.
of the Joker. Just fucking coming
Picturing
out.
somebody in like off loan.
Yeah.
And be like, you and your dirty Hallion cousins.
It'll beat up anyone in your fucking
was
family.
fucking excellent.
That was great. In
Well
fairness,
done.
It had the little tail.
You and your dirty Hallion
Yes,
cousins. This man is wasted. He is, and I don't mean as in drunk, I mean wasted off.
You merely adopted the caravan. I was born in it. Molded by
Yes.
it.
Oh my god! Oh
Fair
fuck!
fucks them. I never believe an actor when they say they researched a role by like looking up any other person. I'm like, no, you didn't. Fuck up. You did a voice.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He probably watched a 5-minute YouTube clip and was like, aye, I'll do him, you know, and then stuck on the gas mask and it didn't even matter
Or
anyway.
he'll do. Do you know what's pissing me off about a lot of Tom Hardy stuff? Is that you can't understand a lot of shit. Like they did that Taboo, right?
Aye, what's that? I'm not familiar with that.
It was quite good. Like it was only one season, and would really like there to be a second because it was good, but it felt like it was just getting started. But see, they went for this authenticity that filmmakers are trying to do now, where they're like, this is set in say the 1800s, so we're going to have a really shit sound guy. I don't know what it is.
I know
It's
exactly
just
what you
like
mean. Too
everything's
whispery.
really dark and you can't fucking hear anything.
Aye.
The sound in films is getting worse.
Yeah, that's
Like,
100%.
Isn't that so true? Like, and you think that it's... I watched a thing before saying, oh, it's just because you're watching something that's meant for, like, the cinema, but you're watching it through, like, cheap... Like
No,
TV
it's like a
speakers,
trend.
but you
That's
go to
such
the
balls.
fucking cinema, and then there's like these moments that it's like so fucking loud, it's unbearable, and then other ones when they're talking, you're like, I need fucking captions because I don't know.
I
what
can't
the
hear
fuck
a
they're
word
saying.
you're saying, yeah.
Do you know, full disclosure, I watch absolutely everything with captions. Like
I like that too. Yeah, Sarah hates it now.
It's an
but
ADHD thing as well, apparently.
you know what? Yeah, well,
need to.
I really like getting every bit of because you'll miss a tiny bit of a line, and I prefer knowing every word they're saying.
I'm a stickler, and also, do you know that we're complaining about like all these young ones these days don't read books anymore and whatever, and then it was actually Stephen Fry who came out and said youngsters these days tend to watch everything with subtitles, and you think of the many movies that they have read. And they're starting to use like
Wow.
even better adjectives, like whenever they're. I think because Netflix knows everybody's watching shit with subtitles, that they're like
Right.
really getting in there with the adjectives.
Yeah.
So it's like laughing maniacally, but then it'll be like jittery music, or like you're going, what kind of fucking description is that? That's a good
Right.
word. Do you know what I mean?
I kind of love it whenever a kid is pissed off, like a child, and then they use a massive word that you had no idea that they knew. I feel like that was probably you, actually, as a child.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a wee bit, but
Yeah.
then I got like bullied for it.
Ah, right, fair enough. Yeah,
I
yeah.
get bullied for
Hardened you?
saying moron.
More, yeah.
Fucking moron. You know, like, oh
Was
my
that
god.
French? Is it? Are you speaking
Look,
French?
did you see? It came back up, and it's an old one, but it's like a TikTok video or like a meme of this guy, and it's like dad from County Down getting angry at his son, and
Nope.
it was, "You are a fucking alcoholic."
Oh, I have seen that.
What
Yeah.
happened to my beer?
Yeah.
I was like, you would not be afraid of that, da. Whatsoever.
No, he's got that sort of north down, like it's a Belfast accent, but it's posh.
Yeah.
like
he goes,
there's an
where
edge.
have my beer gone? And he actually
You have a
apologizes.
problem.
You have a problem, as I told you tonight.
Yeah, as per
are
my
a fu-
previous email.
Yeah.
I
And he
hope that this
actually
finds you well.
apologizes and corrects himself while he's yelling at him, because he'll go, I had 3. Sorry. 4 of those beers last night. And you're
Do you know-
going, semantics, mate. Like,
Do you know what?
it's
My
like-
parents were like that. I mean, they didn't get mad very often because we were fucking class. But whenever they did, they're like, and I always appreciated about them, if they were shouting and they realized they were wrong about something in the middle of it, they would correct themselves. They weren't afraid of losing authority. They would just go, actually, I mean this, and you would
Yeah.
snigger and all. But it's also, I mean, hey, if you're going to shout at me right, you know.
Yeah, like, get
So,
your
fair
facts
enough.
right, ma.
Yeah,
Like, my kids aren't afraid to check me and go, actually, do you know what I mean? And it bugs me.
It's kind of what you
Have
want, though, a little,
But
isn't
you
it?
go, that's not the fucking point. Do
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, go fuck yourself.
You do want people to, you do want your kids to question authority, as long as you're not that authority that they question.
No, I still love that, like, that my ma used that. I can't get over it. The malapropism that my mother used
Ooh.
accidentally.
Yeah.
When she came out of the bathroom before, and I was like, ugh, and she went, did your perfume smell like shite? And I went, no, actually, it smells like DKNY. And she was really, really mad at me. Like, she was so angry. And she'll still hit me again for telling that story once more. But this leads us in to this week's Word of the Week.
Okay.
I lead you down these
Ooh,
little...
different light for it.
Word of the Week!
Yeah, nice, magical.
That was magic, wasn't it? Look at it. We've gone up in the word, guys.
Compunction without the C. I feel like usually it's compunction, isn't it?
Cut that, baby. Cut that.
Compunction. It's like a duty, isn't it? That's my compunction.
Compunction.
I think so, isn't it? A wee duty, wee duty.
you're kind of on. This is why I chose this too, because I always go like you hear this word and you think you know what it means.
And then you're wrong. I suppose, or no, is it something like a compunction's kind of like a what do you call it?
So
Idiosyncratic thing, something that only you do.
So if I said they used their tanks without compunction,
Oh, without hesitation, right? Shit.
or like right, so compunction is a feeling or moral scruple that prevents or follows the doing of something bad.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you would think like compunctory and stuff. I know what you mean. Like you would get it confused with like other things. But a compunction would be like guilt.
Right. Oh, I get you. Yeah.
Compunction is guilt.
Yeah.
So, she stole the nappies, but she did it with compunction.
Right. You felt bad about it.
Yeah.
I did it, but I felt bad about it.
Yeah, like, those people that are like, I did cheat on you.
But I felt so bad about it.
Yeah, but I feel so much compunction.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It actually, see, whenever I did that horrible thing, it actually really hurt me too.
Yeah, those people.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And do you know, like in AA, they'll say, I actually think this is really good. They'll go, you should make amends to people where it will do no harm to the other person. So, like, what they're saying is, like, you make amends, but just see if you just feel like getting a load of shit off your chest because you feel guilty, and it's actually going to harm that person who's living their life without knowing it. Do you know what I mean?
And that's a tough call sometimes, isn't it? Because sometimes you sort of, sometimes there are people you go, maybe I should apologise to them, and then you sort of look them up and you go, things seem to be going pretty well with them. I don't want to rock the boat. I mean, I do sometimes.
Like, what's the point in apologising if they don't know that you have something to apologise to them for?
Sorry. I did a little burp
Green
there and the
for
light
guilt.
went green and I thought, oh fuck, did I do that?
Yeah, you did. It was like the vapour in the
it's
air.
one of them stink sensitive lights.
Tell me this though, right? I know this is, you can refuse to answer this question if you want. But see if your partner that you love cheated on you.
Yeah.
Would you want to know?
Yeah.
Would you?
I'd say so, yeah.
Really?
I think so. Well, I mean, it depends yeah, I think so, yeah. Do you know what? I'll tell you something, because I work in a wee suicide hotline and all, and something I always notice is that we get far more people calling who've just cheated than we do people who've been cheated on. And like, I think that's probably because whenever you get cheated on, there's a natural support system because you've got the moral high ground. Whereas when you don't have the moral high ground, everyone thinks you're a cunt. And yeah, you've certainly done something cunty, but it doesn't mean you're like an irredeemable piece of shit.
That's fucking fascinating, actually. It's a really good insight. Like.
Oh, thanks very much. I think, I think it's just important that you use it to learn from, because I think sometimes the first instinct is to try and justify it or write it off. Do you know what I mean? And go, like, oh, well, sure, it was a shit relationship anyway, or like, oh, you made me do it. That's one of the worst ones. Bleh. Or like, whenever I was younger, there was a couple of times I did that, and I would justify it myself by going like, well, sure, nobody knows, so it's kind of like it didn't happen. If a tree falls in the woods, if a wood falls among the trees, more like,
yes, in the trees.
And no one was there to hear it, I mean, but the thing is, I was there to hear it, and she was probably,
she probably felt it. Maybe.
Yeah, probably, maybe, if it was sunny, yeah. But I couldn't justify it myself. But I went to therapy for a million years because I had to, as part of my becoming a therapist. And
do you have to go to therapy to be a therapist?
Of course, I did 20 sessions. It was the minimum, and that's quite a decent amount, and I had to go private as well. So.
Did you find that it helped you?
Oh God, absolutely. I'm not the same person as I was, and thank fuck, because it was a bit of a mess. Like, it was a bit of a fucking.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of a big advocate for talking therapies.
Oh God,
definitely the only fucking way to go. I know we've got real deep here, but I was just interested because I remember going through this. I found out before that I had been cheated on, and I remember feeling really heart sore, brokenhearted. And I remember thinking there was no need for me to know this. I would rather have not known. Do you know what I mean? I went there in my head and I went, if it doesn't affect how you feel about me, then just don't fucking tell me.
Right, okay.
But obviously, there's a part of me that's like, no, I want you to tell me because these things come out in the woodwork.
Yes.
And I would rather be in the know than the person who looked like a dickhead.
I think I'd like to know for the same reason that if I did it, I would probably almost immediately tell. Like, I think that was the thing that broke it for me because I ruined quite a few relationships doing this, and I'll be
Being a fuckboy, like?
yeah, I was absolutely. There was like three or four in a row, even that I just absolutely ruined. And like, and one or two of them were terrible relationships, and I think that I was perhaps just weak, and I was using that to end the relationship because like, but there was other ones where it was like relationship was actually pretty great, and then I sort
we
of
need
did
to
that.
sit down and talk about our feelings. I fucked your friend. End of.
Why did Curtis's voice there for that? That was your Curtis impression.
No,
Curtis
he's
is too
not
pure
posh.
of heart. Oh yeah, right enough. Yeah.
He's more like, I fucked your friend. Didn't I?
Yeah, he would do a laugh. He would laugh about
and
it.
then I would cut his bollocks off and nail them to the
Curtis is in EastEnders.
I could see Curtis in EastEnders.
Do you know
what I
we
mean?
said something the other day and my kids went to town, ripped fucking the piss clean out of him
Oh yeah.
because he was telling this story about being at a football match whenever he was a kid. And he went, and we went, well then, he was talking about like hooligans, like fighting. He went, we were in the chippy and they just like, they literally like waited for the kids to move out of the way and then kept fighting.
Yeah.
At least they were gentlemanly. And we were like, why didn't you go home? And he catches himself in wee moments where he forgets like that he doesn't live there anymore. And I go, was at the football with my friends, And our Kai just instantly went, oh, Daddy was at the football with his friends. Was at the football with my friends, And he just went, fuck y'all, and like walked out of the kitchen. God love him. Like,
Yeah.
the first time he ever said I, in here looked like he wanted to drop dead. Like, because we were like, we've got you now. You live here.
Yeah, he's let the accent. He's been faking a Northern Irish accent in front of your kids just so that they don't take the piss.
He pure went, because I went, do you want to? And he went, aye. And then he like choked on the word and was like, yeah. And I was like, aye, is it aye, big lord? But I love it whenever he does our accent, taking the piss. And he's like, I knock your fuck a bollock, son.
Some Brits are really good at Northern Irish accent. Like Sarah's an absolute, like, got a really good one. And she does the advert Northern Irish accent as well. The one where they're like, yeah, today's bread, today,
Curtis says, yesterday's dip bread, tomorrow, because it's fucking stinking.
There was a joke years ago. Fuck, who was it? Was it Shane? It was like early Shane, where he was doing sketches with your man from I Am Fighter. And they were doing like Brennan's bread, today's bread today, sponsored by a historical murders inquiry. So yesterday's murders tomorrow.
Right, okay. So
Banger,
they've been there, done that then.
Oh God,
So fuck me, basically. Yeah.
No.
Do you ever get there's this specific accent that like expats, like ex-squatties have,
oh yeah.
that live here, and they're like, what way is it? They're like, talk like that, like with a little bit of our accent.
I think we're quite
And
contagious.
they have a little bit of a whine.
Yeah.
And they like talk a little bit like, I live down the Lisbon Road now. And I like walking my dog, and you're going, what
Everything's
the
a question.
fuck?
Yeah.
What's going on with you?
Yeah.
They have that like pick an accent.
I love jazz. Like
I was gonna
the way
say
hers goes. Like, she'll be going, yeah, like just a wee bit, like
Yeah. It's sort of, she says a word with in it, like she's American up to the word like mirror, and she's like mirror.
American.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, I love that. But we kind of have overlaps with like that Black American slang.
Oh yeah,
because I remember whenever there was, I love it when you
Have we
put
got a
it
bit of
right there, but we say right there anyway. So
That's
I was
true,
like,
that's
why are
true.
they trying to be us? Do you know what I mean? Girl, come over here, and you're like, we say that shit.
Do you ever see that clip of Brad Pitt doing
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt?
Everything gonna be R.E.
That's
the
That's the 50p fucking rent a face.
Yeah, that's when you get him in Poundland as well. He starts in.
Brad Pitt.
He starts in Fight Gang. He starts in Punch Club.
Punch Gang.
Brad Pitt.
Yeah. Oh my God. The first rule of Punch Gang is that we won't talk about any of this to anyone.
And Edward Avast. It's because Edward Norton. It's an antivirus. Anyway, bollocks, but it's utter bollocks. But
I love it.
by Brad Pitt in Patois in Meet Joe Black, where he's the Grim Reaper or something.
Everything gonna be alright, man.
Everything gonna be Irie.
Can I tell you something? It's like we're on the same.
We used
This
to-
popped into my head the other day.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about my uncle loves going to Jamaica, and I remember as a kid he would tell me, like, you know the way we have Cool FM, they have Ari FM because Ari means cool.
Oh, nice.
And then the other day I was walking along thinking about Brad Pitt doing it. Everything gonna be Ari, man. Everything gonna be Ari. And the wee woman's terrified of him. He's like, everything gonna be Ari.
Yeah, you would shit yourself if somebody's like.
But the more I thought about it, I was like, is Ari not like all right?
Yeah, I think that's what it
Like,
means, isn't it? Yeah,
abbreviated.
Irie. Yeah, like all right.
Ari.
I mean, it's imagine you're in America and this American guy in a suit who you've never met, and you're dying as well. You think
he
you're
comes
dying,
up and
and
he's
he
like-
starts speaking Gaelic to you. He's like,
A couple of fucking locals.
Beahan Roddick Yard, the store.
Where's the toilets?
yeah.
Oh my god, Tablas Ern Bogham. Just the
Machara.
wee things that I
Yeah.
know. Machara.
Yeah.
Dulce et decora mes papatria mora.
Isn't that war poem you just did?
My teacher didn't like it in school though. Whenever somebody said, "Which we went today, we're going to be doing Dulce et papatria mai." No, Dulce et decorum est papatria mori, and I went Tracuna McCoy's decorum satisty,
Hakuna Matata.
and got in loads of trouble because that was fucking Tracuna McCoy's decorum satisty, bed knobs and broomsticks. That's-
Right. Do you know what? I never watched that.
What?
I know. There's a
need
lot
to
of really
watch
good films I've never
Bobbing
seen.
along.
You're at the age of not believing now.
I'm not believing in
That's a song,
ghosts.
innit?
Oh, okay.
You need to watch it. Like,
Aye.
rainy day, wee bit of fucking her Miss Smart, but what do you call her?
Miss Marple?
Diagnosis. No, not that.
No, Murder She Wrote.
Murder She Wrote. It was
Yes.
Dick Van Dyke that did Diagnosis Murder.
Yeah, I fucking loved Diagnosis
It was
Murder.
brilliant.
There was this guy in my class who was really into Diagnosis Murder, and then all of us just sort of followed his lead.
Because it was always on at like 1 p.m. in the day. You know,
Absolutely,
like peak,
absolutely.
I've just got out of my lecture and I need to land, cure this hangover.
Yeah.
So Diagnosis Murder would be on. He'd be like, I don't know why all my patients are dying. And you'd be like, negligence, because you never do your actual fucking job. You're always out looking for murderers, Dick.
What's it, Dick? Imagine Dick Van Dyke suddenly speaking patois, and that is
God, I wouldn't be surprised. Trust that whatever he's
in
doing,
song as well.
the Cockney accent in Mary Poppins, he's basically doing
All right,
patois.
Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins.
It's me, your British friend. I was in the chimneys with my mates, innit?
Innit?
Step in, Dylan.
Very good.
Just imagining Curtis of the Chimney Sweep now, spinning it around,
Oh,
you know.
fucking hell. I love it. It's the master skipping time. It's the master skipping. I love it. Do you know, I want to ask you though, like, have you ever had a feeling of compunction for something silly?
All the time. I like. Do you know what's weird is I felt like a proper gimp afterwards. You know when you apologize for something that you did 6 months ago that's been living in your head rent free, and you can tell no one's been thinking about it,
I
and
do it
they're
the
like,
opposite
"Yeah, it's
way
all right."
around. I blame people for something they did 6 months ago, and they have no idea.
You got something to say?
Kurt, I go see.
What have I done?
He says to me, like, I go, I pocket everything. I'm a pocketer.
Yeah,
And then I'll wait because I like
a
avoid.
thief is what
I
we call it.
avoid confrontation. Yeah, I avoid confrontation until like there's a big fight anyway, and I'm like, well, fuck it, since we're saying
Right.
everything anyway. And I go, he says, and this is his example. He'll say to me, back on November 14th, you said that you didn't really like my fucking lasagna. You said it was a bit bland. You know, like I hold shit like that.
I get that.
You know what I
I think
mean?
sometimes as well it takes you a while to notice that you're mad about something. I mean, I definitely get that. And it used to piss off Sarah where I go, here, I'm actually pretty furious about that thing you said yesterday. And she's like, you looked all right when I said it. And it's like, yeah, that's because
It was a slow burner.
That's because I lay down to go to sleep that night and suddenly it popped into my head. And I was like, fucking bitch.
The word equivalent of a paper cut. You don't know what's there. It's all right at first until you go to wash your fucking hands
Oh,
or
and it's
use
infected.
alcohol gel.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
God, yeah,
and
the
then you're
sting.
like, do you know
Ooh,
something?
yeah.
That fucking annoyed me.
Yeah, I think better to bring that up. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's well, yeah. I think that's the same with the cheating thing as well. You know, because if you leave that, it'll simmer, and if you don't tell someone, it becomes shame, and then the shame kind of probably makes you do it again. So you're like, well, fucking
I've already
in for
done it
in for a
once.
penny, in for a pounding. You know.
Yes. So you would feel guilty about wee things and you apologise. Like,
Aye.
what like?
God, I'm sorry. I thought we were talking about cheating stuff. I was going, well, fucking cheating, probably. But I don't know, guilty for things. The thing I'm thinking of is that I was in the Lavery's green room, like, last year now, and Kieran.
Get it off your chest.
Kieran Bartlett. No, I've already said. Oh no, wait, no, I didn't say sorry to him. Kieran, sorry. No.
Right, here you go. Here's your
he said he was going to see David Gray, and I was like, oh, why are you going to see him? And he's like, oh, it's just fucking amazing. I was like, and I was more like, no, like, why do you like him? Like in a scornful way.
Yeah.
And I was like, why am I trying to roast somebody who could absolutely eviscerate me and chooses only through his own benevolence not to?
Yeah. Babe.
But
It's more like, why am I being
like,
a music snob?
Yeah, exactly.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I love a bit of David Gray.
Yeah, me too.
See that? My oh my, no, just don't stop. Like he can't
my used to
control
listen
his
to him
head.
all
But
the time.
I love. Do you know it was the Irish that made him apparently? Because we all
Did
bought
we?
his album. He toured over here.
Oh, here.
Our Patrick loves David Gray.
Serious?
I
I always wonder because
I love
Patrick
him.
never really mentions music. Do you know what I mean? So I'm
Yeah.
like, what does he listen to? David Gray.
Yeah,
You
like
wouldn't put
he
that
has
to-
he has a big
imagine
array of like what
Or
he
Paddy
listens to.
McDonald being like,
Yeah. I obviously rave front and center is all time like great. He says Queen's his favorite like act ever, but he's full of shit. It's the Prodigy.
Yeah.
But he
You
loves
better be
David
careful who
Gray.
he says he loves Queen in front of. You know where he's.
But
know.
he started learning guitar around the same time as me. Maybe just a bit before me. And like the first couple of songs he wanted to learn was David Gray songs.
Oh.
Lovely.
So like he was quite good like playing all the way David Gray songs, and then in the midst of that is when he like got his finger bit off.
Shit.
So see now, even when he picks up one of my guitars, he goes to play one of him David Gray songs. And I'm like, I'll give it up.
You know what?
yeah, he's on the bass now.
That's terrible. Like the person that bit his finger off should feel super fucking guilty.
Teacher or something, wasn't it as well? No, sorry, I'm not going to violate a court order.
Sorry. Should feel extreme
Compunction.
compunction for biting Patrick McDonald's fucking finger off. And
What-
can't even have the pastime of playing the guitar.
Yeah.
He could have been a guitarist. Thank fuck they did, because he's a really good comedian. No, that's wild. That is.
What were you going to say there, Sean? I spoke over you.
I can't remember.
Oh, okay. I thought it was about the teacher or something.
Must have been a lie. I love that. That's an Irish thing, isn't it? It must have been a lie. Like, and you go, no, just have ADHD. No, you must have
You
been
get called out for something you didn't even say.
I know.
It's
You're
like,
accused of
you
lying
haven't
for
thoughts, are
saying
you?
nothing.
You having some fucking line of thoughts?
Absolutely. Do
God
you know,
sees 'em.
funny enough, see, as a kid, like I would, because of OCD, like one of the ways OCD manifests that a lot of people don't realize is like these overwhelming feelings of compunction for things that like you haven't even done. Do you know what I mean? And like do you know what J.K. Rowling, or should I say Robert Galbraith, in one of their books described a man who had OCD, and it was like he would come home after a day's work and like completely fret in case somebody interpreted something that he had said or done as being malevolent or bad, you know. So like say he accidentally brushed up against someone, they'd be like, they're gonna think that I touched them, or do you know what I mean? So like I would just feel really guilty for like loads of things that like weren't even my fault.
Oh yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Or like feel really like, oh my God, like the weight of the world on your shoulders, like
Do you know,
guilt for everything.
Really common one, and it tends to be when you cross the line from like having sort of obsessive thoughts into potential delusion danger territory. Is we get a lot of call from people with OCD who are like, oh, they're going to think I'm a paedophile. It's like, why? Is that? Have you ever thought of having sex with children? Like, no, not willingly. I wouldn't enjoy that. It pops into my head because I don't want it to, you know. And you go, well, I don't think you're a paedophile. Then
That's the way
they
that
don't
it was
believe you.
explained. Like to me, like see if you have, like for example, I'll just put it out there. Whenever I had my first child and I had my OCD was out of order because I was like really, really sleep deprived and depressed, I would have this image of like, I would go, what if I threw him?
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I could just punch this guy in the face right now in the
or
bus stop.
what if I hurt him? And then like whenever I went to see a psychologist about it, they went, okay, so let's walk through this together, right? And like I was like, if I get an image in my head of me hurting my baby, and he was like, how does it make you feel whenever you get that image? And I was like, absolutely horrified, terrified, like what if? And he goes, then that shows you that you are not the type of person who would hurt a baby, because those feelings give you horror.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You don't experience any like pleasure from that feeling.
It's like when you're standing on the edge of a cliff
Yeah.
And
What
you
if I
feel like
jump?
and it feels like your body is pushing you to jump over the cliff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the
'Cause
fear
it's
of
like,
it.
yeah,
Yeah,
know?
it's almost like you're trying to expose yourself to it, but like too much, even,
Yeah,
which is
or like you think
it's also what
because
the actual
you have
pedophiles
to
do
go
as
to
well.
yourself.
Expose yourselves to it.
I'm not my thoughts, because you
Yeah.
can have thoughts that you don't believe.
Oh yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like Tourette's. People with Tourette's will say like they say things, and then do you know? I was actually watching Gogglebox, and there was a kid on it with Tourette's, and his mum said, "But yeah, you are thinking what you say," and he said, "I am thinking what I say, but I don't necessarily believe what I say.
yes.
It's just thoughts that come into
you
my
need a
head
little
that I'm
distance
like,
from it.
don't say that, and you have to say it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, did you ever watch Tourette's de France?
no, no, but that's a great title.
Fucking brilliant. It follows all these kids on a trip.
Are they French as well?
No, they're going to France
I
from
just like the
England.
idea of French Tourette's as well, where they're like,
Yeah.
merde, merde.
Merde. They're like going through the airport. There's this little kid going like, bomb in my bag, bomb in my bag.
I love that shit.
And then there was that guy, the Scottish guy, who was talking about like what it was like to grow up with Tourette's. He's very, very good, like, you know, when explaining it. And he said like, but he's brilliant sense of humour. He goes, like, I could never been in the army because it'd have been like, here, I'm over here, I'm going to fucking shoot you. I'm going to fucking shoot you. And he's like, couldn't be a burglar because they climbed through the window and be like, I'm in your house, I'm going to steal all your stuff. And he says, I was always the worst whenever we're playing hide and go seek, because he was like, I'm here. I'm over here. But he would like
so
drive.
funny.
He can't even sit in the front seat because he's like beside someone driving, and he like pulls the wheel. Do you know what I mean? I was like, those are like the mad thoughts that I have, but I don't act on them.
A big one's the M word among Tourette's people, isn't it? Because you can't say it.
Because
So they're
it's
like,
so like, don't fucking
yeah,
say
they're on
it.
the bus like singing it.
That's
you know?
another thing. Like they don't
I love
believe
that.
that. They're not racist, but because they
Oh, yeah,
know
yeah.
they can't say it.
And I like to think anyone who hears it sort of can tell. It's like, well, this person isn't just. He hasn't written that. He hasn't written that song. Do you know what I mean? He's
Yeah, I love
not a
whenever
musician.
there was actually one particular bit where they were all in this help group where it was like civil service held a meeting, and they had someone come in from like the dole to try and help them figure out like how to, you know, apply for certain things that they might be entitled to, or and this guy at the back just goes, fuck off, nosy. and then this other one goes, you're really helpful. And she went, but is it true? It's just like, see these people that keep a straight face and just
Yeah.
going, like, fair fucking play to them.
There was an interview with somebody who had Tourette's, and she was saying that when she's having sex, the tics stop if the sex is good. I mean, because it's distracting her. I think I can't remember if that's the exact thing. So, like, if she's suddenly cured, you know, you're like, oh, this must be all right. Whereas if you're having sex with her and she's still going like, fuck you, yeah, you're like, all right, I better up my game here.
She
you know?
knows if she's still able to think about her tics,
Yeah.
then you aren't ticking the right boxes.
there's a comedian.
Yeah.
There's a comedian in America called Benny Feldman.
Fucking love Benny Feldman.
Oh,
who's
he's
this?
so good.
And he's got Tourette's.
Yeah, it's a clicky one as well.
And he like it's just he has to do his set all like one-liners because he can't like have a bit that lasts any longer than a couple of seconds.
Yeah, it's really.
But he's
persistent, like.
fucking amazing. He's so smart. Like
He's really, really good.
I must actually look into that.
There was
hilarious, like.
There was like a poster that I think one of the things that made me follow him on Twitter was that he posted like a poster of one of his first ever gigs, and it was at like it was like a really. He was the only white guy on the lineup, and it was like a really like black comedy night, and like and you could tell that he kind of wasn't really invited. I think because it was like had all these names, and they had really cool names like Big Mama C and all that stuff, and they weren't all comedians as well. Some of them were musicians, and it was called
open mic.
it was called like Night of Love, Soul and Music, and then at the bottom it just says with comedian Benny. So it was the worst death he'd ever died in his life, really.
With comedian Benny just tacked in there at the bottom.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
let him have a go. Equal opportunities for him. We're getting a bit of extra funding for this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh fuck! There's that. What's the worst gig you've ever done?
Oh, narrow it down. I had a bottle thrown at me in Derry in the metro. Yeah, that was a guy called Michael Porter ran that. He ran a bad gig there. It was free in, so nobody knew there was comedy on, first of all, because they just walked in. There's nobody at the door, obviously, saying, hey, there's comedy. It's free in. Do you want to come in? So people just walking in and being told suddenly, there's no comedy. Fucking
Shut up.
sit down, except there's no seats. They're all stood. And it was like,
Oh, no.
and they turned off the football to put us on. And there wasn't a stage so much as about a step. It
You're
was
reading
raised
out
there.
basically the list of what not to do when you're doing a comedy night. Like.
Absolutely. And they, and we all died in our holes one after the other. I think the MC did all right because he said something homophobic, which tells you something about the crowd.
He did all right.
He did all right because he says, yeah. No, it was real early 2000s homophobia. I think it was like sort of stuff that's not even unpolitically correct now because so much it's called somebody a spice boy, I think.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if that's still
Spice Boy's
homophobic.
not homophobic.
I think
is
we've
it?
moved on.
Spice
But
Boy
I
was
think
like a badge of honor.
I think what he did with Spice Boy was homophobic, but
Yeah.
but the initial anyway, but like and there's a guy called Gary Lynch from down south who basically screamed.
That's the most harsh sounding name.
Yeah.
My name's Gary Lynch.
You need an apostrophe in there somewhere, don't you? Gary O. Lynch.
We've had us somewhere.
He screamed his whole set at them, and I remember admiring that in a way because I was like, he got through the whole set in a way which I did not.
You got a bottle thrown at you?
I did. And then the
no
headliner
matter what
was,
you do for the rest of your comedy career,
never have a bottle thrown at me
it
again.
will never be as bad.
Well, no, I had a bottle thrown at me off stage as well. I wasn't on a night I wasn't even on. It was the Pavilion, and I was running it, and there was this lady talking too loud, and I just sort of went up there, and I was like, "Here, do you mind keeping it down?" And all, and she was like, "Yeah, sure." But then she kept turning around, and then she came up to me, and she started like squaring up to me because I'd told her off, and she was like, "You're banning me from this gig. I've got civil rights." I'm like, I'm not banning you. I'm talking to you outside.
All right, Rosa
And-
Parks. Like,
yeah.
seriously, what the fuck?
Yes, it sat in the
Being-
back of the room as well.
You're being banned from a comedy gig. It's hardly like I'm stripping you of your right to fucking vote. Like, calm down.
I have a dream. I
Yeah, I have a dream where you shut the fuck
I'll
up.
see a
Listen to the set.
5'4" man die on his hole on a Monday night. And she was raging. Eventually, I was like, "You know what? I am actually banning you. You better fuck off." And then she ran down the stairs and then came back just to throw a bottle at me and it smashed. And I was just laughing at this point because I was like, sure.
She
You
had
know.
a smashing time. I'd actually love to be there whenever somebody threw a bottle. I'd be like, "Hey, what the fuck?"
It was
I'd
real
proper
classic.
like waist it up, be like, "Oh my, get her the fuck in here
It
now."
was real classic Pav, and there was more grim than good.
I like the Grim Pav.
I liked the grim Pav too when the floors were sticky and it was all dark and
it was like a wee black box.
yeah, it had a real artistic shitness
kind
to
of
it.
dark,
and all.
and everybody just thought like you could have got fingered in the corner of it.
Oh yeah, you
with
could
a-
have got fingered on stage.
Exactly.
With the lights on you.
Yeah,
and
fucking
and
right.
people would go, it's better than the comedy.
We
Anyway.
were actually like standing on a speaker.
There was a
Yeah.
lot of there was a lot of stuff like that.
But
There
it
was-
is lovely now. You should really get yourself down to the Pav. And do you know what I know? The good thing about COVID?
you
You know the good thing about
done
COVID was?
good for the numbers.
People, it was good for gigging, like for the gig industry, wasn't it? Because people realised
I think it's because comedy came back before music.
how much they fucking missed live performance.
Yeah.
And like being
100%.
there. Do you know what I mean? I did a wee cameo part for this wee short film. And I was only going on to do, like, I was being myself in it and doing a bit of comedy. But I wasn't
Oh
really
yes, I remember you
thinking
did that.
about, and I get up and everybody was loving it because they were like, we're so starved.
Yeah, desperate.
We're so starved, and this isn't even like a real comedy act. It's just you acting comedy. But yes, do you know what I mean? Like, we're here with people.
Here's the thing I heard as well is sorry, I didn't mean to speak over you there.
I was just saying people again.
Okay, good.
Being dramatic.
I do you think people have forgotten how to be a little bit in a crowd? Because I heard this that people. There was an article about it somewhere about how people have sort of forgotten how to be in a crowd without being a melter. I think part of that's also just because of the propagation of like crowd work clips. Do you know what I mean? So people go, it's normal to heckle, and it's like, it's actually not. You're being a fucking being
Yeah, not during the act.
nah.
Do you know what I mean?
So like I think people sort of go, they've forgotten how to just sit and look at something without being a prick. You know?
yeah, everybody
I
thinks
think
they're on
people see the
Gogglebox.
challenge in it now.
Yeah, that's
You know
that.
what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they see those Jimmy Carr clips and all, and they're like, but see, if it was
what I
me, I would get him better than that.
Aye,
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. But you never get anybody better than that. I could appreciate a really good heckle.
I think it
But
can work.
all
yeah.
you get is like, wanker.
What's the best heckle you've ever got?
I've never fully got a good. I've got one
Hmm.
where I actually really enjoyed the interaction
Oh yeah.
because I was doing this wee bit where I talk about Wanksy, the
Oh, yeah,
graffiti
yeah,
artist, and I was saying about how Wanksy is what my parents' generation would have called the sand and the blocker.
Yeah.
Because those were the kids at the back of the class that played with the sand and the blocks instead of being taught like their ABC.
Yeah.
And this fella was going like, nah. And I went, I'm telling you now, like, you need those people in the world, like, those
Yeah.
and he was going, nah, fucking nah, no sat in the blocks in my class. And I went, yeah, there wasn't there? And I went, what do you do for a living? And he went, I'm a bricklayer. And
Nah.
I went, see?
Yeah.
Sand the blocks. And everybody just went, ah, you know, like to him. And I was like, see, he played with the sand the blocks.
Yeah.
He fucking played. And everybody just roared
That's
at him.
great.
And I was like, this is brilliant. Like, I wish I had this on camera.
I always remember one that Ronan Linsky got in the Empire where someone heckled, "That's enough. That's enough." Like that's enough comedy for now.
Oh my God.
Or there was a time.
Oh, that's raw.
That's pretty rough, isn't
You'd
it?
be like, that's enough.
When I was in, God, it would have been 10 years ago. It was the first time I did the 20-minute spot in the Empire. It was like 2014 or something. I did it again lately, actually, and
Did
I
you?
felt a bit better about it. Yeah, I'm happy enough with it. But
I've never done it. I must actually message you.
I
I'd
get
love to do it
push
one minute.
push them on it, like definitely.
Yeah.
You did the 10 there last time, didn't
Yeah,
you? To go
yeah.
well.
It did, yeah.
Happy
I love
days.
It. It was brilliant.
Give them a wee shove then, sure. Yeah,
I know
love
it's
it. We
always
room.
really, really booked, so I'll just text her to see if she can
Aye.
fit me in sometime.
I do that, yeah, and then like it's one of the ones because we put it on 3 people a week, so it's fair enough if you message that you get a spot in 6 months,
Yeah.
But like, what was I gonna say? Somebody heckled saying Lisburn's not so bad, like because I was talking shit about Lisburn.
They said Lisburn's not so
Lisburn's
bad.
not so
That's
bad.
the most Lisburn heckle you
Yeah.
could ever imagine. Do you know what I mean? Not even fuck you. It was Lisburn's not so bad.
Yeah.
It's not like fuck you up. Lisburn's brilliant. It's Lisburn is.
Not
It's
so
not
bad.
shit.
Yeah,
Not so bad.
that's the head of the
You're
tourist
ma-
board,
you're-
probably.
You're being highly
City of Dreams.
Yeah, the city of Jew. My God. See, before we go on the art talking trash aspect, have you ever seen the Lisburn advertisement?
Didn't they have something now?
Lisburn, this is where we make it. Lisburn, this is where we take it. It's been
Ketamine,
like
make
they've
it and
had
take it.
like a battle of the bands or something, and somebody has won this, and it just like shows you Bow Street Mall like flashing in the light.
All 3 of the shops in it.
Oh Jesus! I
wrote that song.
lived for this advert. In fact, I pulled. Did you actually? Because but I actually was like, I did a Joe. I still have a Virgin box somewhere in the house that has this advert on it in front of like a Christmas movie. But every time somebody tells me they're in Lisburn now, I have to go Lisburn.
I tell you, it's catchy.
It is the most naff.
And then it finishes the last line. Lisburn's where the love is.
Yes!
Where the love is. Actually, I like that.
Lisbon.
I like that.
Oh fuck!
The rest
I
of it,
absolutely love
I can
it.
take your leave.
Lisburn, city of love.
City of Love. The Paris of Antrim.
Vampires of Antrim! Merde! The Eiffel Tower's just a fucking 5G mast and there's people protesting around for fuck's sake.
Their main attraction for a while was that they had the COVID test center in the middle of the
They
town.
did, yeah.
my
Come
God.
and
On the
see the
verge.
COVID test. Get a selfie in front of your positive test.
I love the way they were trying to fucking blame Belfast on being we're no longer having the free car parks because people are only using them to park in Lisburn and then do the parking ride into Belfast, go and shop in Belfast. So it's not good for
I
Lisburn's
thought this is where we
economy.
made it.
And I was like, fellas, let me tell you something. Nobody is parking in Lisburn and then going all the way into Belfast town
No.
to go and do their shopping and their clothes shopping. They're just seriously up to shady shit there. They're probably banned some ketamine and just wiped out and they can't drive home.
To be fair, Leisureplex is good crack.
A leisure
Good
pass is
times.
a banger.
Do you know what?
Lisburn is underrated, I think.
I think, to be fair, right?
It's a bit of fun to
I
take the
joke,
piss.
but I actually do aspire to perhaps have a nice house in Lisburn.
Did
one
we
day.
do we both just remember that we're gigging in Lisburn next week?
Yeah. That was 100% what happened.
It's really underrated, actually.
Me and Luke had the funniest fucking gig doing sound ever in Lisburn. We done this fucking Lisburn Fela, right?
So a feeling?
Lisburn Fela,
We're
right?
only feeling it out for the others.
And there's a Hibernian club in Lisburn, right? Yeah, but you wouldn't have.
Up a hips.
There's a reason you don't know that it's there, because see to get into it, you had to go through the chippy.
Are you serious? It's like fucking Nocturne Alley.
It literally was. You had the top 3 bricks.
Tap 3 pints on the ceiling if you want
And then-
this.
So
What do you have to ask for? Do you have to go I'll have a green supper?
Yeah.
I'll get here. It was
32 chips?
I'll have the duck l'orange, hold the orange.
There was It was really nice.
Of Antrim.
It was really nice what they were trying to do with it. It was a lovely wee idea. But then so the start of it was just all the fucking two families of Catholics in the area that had kids doing Irish dancing, and then there was a wee trad band on after. But then there was somebody who had
tried your best.
That's
a good nickname for a trad band. Trad your best.
Tried your best, but you failed.
You tried your best, but you don't succeed.
Fucking right. I love it. You can go to Lisburn, but you might just bleed.
So there was the whole big hall. There was maybe 20 people in it, and so the trad band was on, and they're obviously just playing traditional music and so nothing too hype, right? But then there was these ones who obviously they were English, but had family over here,
right.
So they were over visiting. So they've been oh, come on to Lisburn, Fela. That's something we can do while you're over.
Yeah.
And they got fucking wiped. They got the complete wrong idea as to what this was.
Right.
And there was this girl up on the dance floor. She was going up to this wee trad band of these old fellas in their 60s, and she was stripping for them. And she was grinding up on the bass player.
What
was
going
the
up
music?
to the man with the boron going, do you know any Bon Jovi?
Yeah. How do you do a sexy dance to Whiskey in the Jar?
It was
Soldiers are way.
The Lonesome Boatman.
The man wearing the wire.
That was Britson. Oh my god, the man with it wearing my underwear. Taking off her clothes. Fuck, I love it.
Black velvet band's the only thing I'm wearing.
I'm black and tan, but that's because my sun shimmer's wearing off.
So
Came out
God.
to black and tan. We're desperate.
It was desperate that we
How
gig.
many people was there altogether?
About 20.
So all the Catholics in Lisburn then?
Yeah.
Do you know who'd have done that gig, Neri, a couple of years ago? Before, do you know who'd have fucking loved doing that gig? Even is your very own brother.
Yeah.
Because Paddy, before he struck it big, him and William too. I think were the guys who would do any gig. They knew it would be hard as fuck, and they would go in with their teeth grit. Fucking William drove to Leitrim with Mary Flanagan and some other folks to perform to 3 people in a fucking American themed saloon in front of nowhere.
See, that's why you look at them and go, you deserve everything that you have now, all this good, all the good things.
The struggle,
What
their juice.
what dodgy gigs like that have you done?
Oh my god.
Well, here I was trying to do this thing now. I've hit a wall. I'm not done with it, but I'm going to do it. But where I was trying to do a gig in every county. And there's some counties that don't have anything, so you had to put them on ourselves. And one of them was that gig in Leitrim, the saloon one, because I was like, I knew there used to be a gig there in some American saloon, so I contacted them and asked them if they wanted to put it on, and we did it there, and that was actually great. But sorry, that just popped in my head. Roscommon would put us on, and there was all the red flags, but they weren't backing down because they were like, oh, it's free in. And I was like, there's going to be the Metro. There's going to be people there not knowing there's comedy on because it's free in. They're like, but we can't kick out the regulars. I'm like, well, put us somewhere else then. Put us in the smoking area or something. But they didn't even do that. So put us on stage. The mic's not working. People are screaming and you can't be heard. And I did, I think, 3 minutes because, see, this is what I so admired about Gary Lynch screaming his way through the set. I was like, I should do that next time there's a gig that rough and that loud. Just blutter through them. Mustafa Saeed did that. Yeah. And he was brutal with him because he can be really mean.
I've seen him do that too.
Yeah, and it's great.
Brilliant.
It's great. I really rate him actually.
He did that
underrated.
at the terrible gig that I can think of.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What was it?
I did this absolutely fucking horrendous gig at the boat club one time, at a boat club, and it was basically just a bunch of daddy's boys.
Yes.
Who, we all do the rocker.
Yes.
And whatnot.
It was run by my dad's mate as well, I think. I'll not name him.
No.
Not him?
I'll tell you.
Aye.
But it was awful, and it was rapey vibes. Oh. And they showed up with a blow-up doll that was all covered in fake blood.
Fake blood?
Uh-huh.
Why fake blood?
Is it reference to the Ulster Rugby stuff.
I don't know what it felt.
God,
Do you know,
right
it was
enough.
around about that time, and I was kind of like, "This is not appropriate." And also, and my ma actually came along. It was whenever I'd only started out, and I was like, "Yeah, stage time, whatever."
Yeah, it's
You know,
like,
I'll do it.
Yeah, they've got an effigy of a dead woman, but I'll
but,
perform.
whatever. And see,
perform for
whenever
them.
I was like, "Get me the fuck out
Yeah.
here." And Mustafa got up, and he was like. You know, and I loved it because Mustafa is a GP, like he's a doctor, so
Yeah.
he has the fucking proficiency to go.
He could
just
be
like,
real mean
You're
when he
all
wants to.
fucking morons.
Yeah.
And you know, these were all people that were like, you know, out with daddy's credit cards that were probably going to be doctors, and they were like, "You're all fucking morons." And I just get up and sort of intimidated a wee bit.
Yeah.
Like, did lent fully into the Westie. Mary fucking, you're going to listen to me here and see if you don't, you're getting glassed.
Yeah.
Like that's what's happening.
Be like, you scream it
Anyway.
and you threaten and you kick and scream it and don't go into
Yeah.
that good night, which I've never been able to do, but I really want to be able to do that next time. I'm like going to really resolve myself. Like, no, do the full time, scream through the fucking set.
Yeah.
Mustafa, I remember somebody came out of the toilets and he said something to him like, "You sir, you look like the sort of person who has to pay for sex." And just fucking roasting people, and it was great.
Yeah, just absolutely. Like,
I just write a
fucking-
couple general roasts so that if I
Yes.
ever get a crowd that I just don't like and I'm going to go down swinging, I'm just going to say horrible shit to them. You know, the whole
Yeah.
Bill Burr Philadelphia thing, you know?
Yeah,
just-
yeah.
yeah.
It's too easy to do that. Like, I
Yeah.
kind of really
Do
enjoy
you think?
it.
I haven't.
do.
I've never done it. I've
No,
never
you
gone down
should.
swinging like that.
You're nice, but this is where you really get people because you have this real. In fact, I think Geddes and stuff was talking about you and saying it. Do you
Oh, was
remember?
he?
Because they were like, Luke has this thing
sweetie.
about him where he's like real
Oh,
sound,
yes.
and he can come off as real nice, but then he'll say something, and you're like cut to the bone. Where you go, did he just say that?
See, this is why I'm afraid of
Do you
doing a
know what I
roast
mean?
as well, because like I think, you know, there's some.
You could look
General.
at someone with really kind eyes and go, "Oh, you know."
I think I might accidentally say something.
Your life
really
is going
personal.
nowhere.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, I don't
I'd be
think
like,
comedy's for you. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Have you
You're
ever
gonna
thought
die
about giving up?
lonely.
Yeah. How about Sandra? Have you tried Sandra?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
You might not have died of COVID, but you died a fucking death up there. Do you know what I mean? A
I-
cough would have been nice. Would have
don't-
been something.
I don't think I can find the line because I'm so used to there not being a line in my other job. Do you know what I mean? People talking
Yeah.
about killing themselves or fucking getting stabbed by their granny or whatever. And so, you know, I'm desensitized to a lot of stuff. And sometimes as well, when I'm doing a wee bit of crowd work as well, I might get quite mean. Sure, even the other night as well, as like I told someone to check their blood pressure in the beehive because their face was that red, didn't
Yeah,
I?
that's
And that was one
right.
of those ones where I felt the crowd go, "Oh, that's a little mean."
No, I loved it. That was actually, you always hear me at the back of the room being like, you know, like long after people have stopped laughing.
I love that. I love
like,
that.
he's fucking beetroot there. Look at him. He's watching his blood pressure. You know what I mean? You were like, it's funny because it's true.
We said about COVID being like good for gigs,
Aye.
but it also cropped up a lot of weird ones too.
Oh God, aye.
Like I ended up, someone booked us for a 40th birthday in Carlingford.
Oh my
Red
God.
flags already.
Right.
Carlingford, actually.
So I
That'd
went,
be all right.
Carlingford. That's like a wee town where people go,
Sure.
and
Half of
like
it's a
loads
loch.
of there's like a few hotels,
Yeah.
and there's like loads of wee bars, and also I just assumed it was like a function room in somewhere that someone had booked out,
Yeah.
and but never. I didn't ask them for the address when they booked it, and I never asked them where it was in.
Money's money.
And then
Money.
on the day, I completely forgot about it right up until the day, and then I went, oh shit, here, I may ask Easons where the address is, where the bar is, or whatever. And I asked them, and they didn't send me like an address. They sent me no like
Coordinates.
coordinates. Literal, I can show you literal coordinates. And I was like, what the fuck?
Latitude.
Yeah. Are we
Calm
doing a
down.
gig or are we finding Blackbeard's treasure?
Oh my God, yeah. I'm going to have to be handed a shovel and dig my own grave there, aren't I?
Felt like the Goonies.
Oh my God. Down here, it's our time.
Hey, you guys. But
Pay you with a pot of gold.
I know it's near. I can smell their bubble gum.
I put it into my Google Maps, and right enough it took me to like Carlingford, but not right inside Carlingford, like about 10 minutes outside it. And I went, right, okay, like I'll follow this anyway.
Yeah.
And me and Matt went down in the car, and when we got near it, it was just a whole load of nothingness. Like it was like
Outdoors, yeah.
there was nothing there. Wherever the coordinates brought me to, Like there was
like a dark
nothing
hole
there.
in the middle of a field.
Yeah, and like literally we got stuck in a field and all. No, like it was like I was going, somebody is going to fucking murder us.
Yeah.
Like because my car got stuck in like a big puddle and all.
Oh,
Like,
no.
all the muck and all. Like,
It's like
it took me-
it's straight out of a horror
And,
film.
Yeah, this is proper.
I was going, what the fuck's going on here? And we were trying to ring, like the person who booked us, they wouldn't answer their phone, and we were like, we'll try and circle about, see if there's any houses nearby, but we'll give it like 15 minutes, and if we don't find nothing, then we'll just have to head home.
Cut our losses.
But eventually, like about 10 minutes later, they answered the phone. We're like, hiya, and we're like, we're looking for a bar or whatever. Like, there's nothing here. Like, and we can't see where this coordinates just brought us out in the middle of nowhere. And we're like, no, it's just a wee house. Like, we booked an Airbnb. Like, and I was like, an Airbnb, right? Okay.
It's literally in the air. Like,
And,
there's nothing
and
here.
I was trying to ask them like directions to it, and they were really struggling to tell me where it was.
They
and
didn't even know.
They didn't even know where the fucking were. They were already steaming. But eventually I
Imagine
found
like
it.
just going, we'll get a wee fucking cottage in the middle
Hey,
of
fucking
and we'll
man.
just get
But
a
there
bath.
was 6 of them.
He was skimped on the fucking accommodation. May as well get them a bath.
Were they maybe confused because you are called search party? They're like, I don't know where we are. Can you just find
Very
us?
good.
So we turned up and there was 6 of them in the room. Like
wow, God.
6 like 40-year-old women and me and Matt, and it was very fucking strange.
I bet you they're up for it though, right?
Did
After
you-
we
They were really up for it.
But see, if that was a comedy gig, there'd have only been 6 people sitting there. They would have brought you all the way out there, agreed to pay you, and they'd still go, you're shade.
Yeah. They go,
Do
do
you know
we
what I
have
mean?
to pay you? Because that wasn't very good. And it's like,
We don't like it.
We had great crack, but it just
Yeah.
we were like loading the stuff in, and then every time we were going out the car to get something else, we were going, oh, we just turn back.
yeah.
I was going, I'm very
This isn't
comfortable.
safe.
At the end of the
Isn't
night,
safe.
you usually used to go, good night, everybody. You were like, good night, Geraldine, Ethel,
Yeah.
and Megan. Happy birthday.
It felt
See
like
you
it was
again.
going to be
Like, you know their blood type by the end, you're that
Yeah.
close.
yeah,
You know?
it felt like it was going to be like a fucking like sax thing.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Right,
It
yeah.
felt like
Yeah.
you know, they were
Yeah.
like
It's like,
Yeah.
do you want to try this?
Late 30s seems to be when people get into the old sex party stuff, isn't it? Except
Sex party?
sex party. Our mate Connor McGinley, he's into the sex parties and all that.
Do
he
they
loves
do
them.
sex parties over
He
here?
says he has to go down south to do a sex party. He has
Really?
to, and it's in an industrial
that.
estate. It's
Ooh, that's all very like gimp mask and
Yeah,
dodgy.
yeah, yeah.
Industrial estate.
yeah. It's like right next to fucking
I
Stainos or
expected
whatever.
to be like really hedonistic and like fucking, I don't know, bearskin rugs and all and like
There's probably a bit of that.
cocaine everywhere.
Do you remember that
But
thing?
no,
there?
it's just like an industrial estate, some fucking old doll with a water boot in her head.
There's-
black stuff.
3 eye holes cut in it.
Yeah, it's like
no teeth.
Don't
Give a
get
good one.
Do you remember to bring your swimming cap? I don't want to hoover after this.
Yes.
Sheets waterproof.
I can tell you're not wearing any knickers. There's dandruff on your shoes.
And that's where you'll find them.
I'm a terrible person. Oh my god.
That's where you'll find the plastic covered nipples again. Is that's where you have to-
Here's anybody want to pay lead?
Yeah. Great reception.
Do you want to hear what our how to swear without cursing?
Oh, here is this the Patreon though?
No, you're
Okay.
doing the dirty word for the Patreon.
Oh, this isn't the dirty word.
This isn't the dirty word.
Okay.
But this is how to.
Frowsy. That's
Frowsy.
gotta be made up. That sounds like it's something someone would put in a children's song. To don't be frowsy. I'm assuming frown like it comes from frown. Obviously.
I'm feeling rather frowsy.
Frowsy.
Granny gets real drowsy after she takes her tabbies.
I want
Right.
to let you go off with that. I want to see what
So
you're talking
if
about. Right?
do you know what? See, my train of consciousness songs, they're not for human consumption, like at all. Do you know Curtis caught me in the room before, like singing to Barry,
Aye.
and I was
Barry's
just,
one of the children, right?
yeah, Barry's
Right.
Barry's the he was only wee Bobby at the time, and I
Yeah.
went. I always called him wee Barry Boo,
Oh,
and I used to go,
never a
Hey.
child called Barry.
"Hey, little I know it's like
Becomes
a hate crime, isn't it?
No, it's just like I assume he's born an adult. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? He's like wearing a pair of Dr. Martens after he comes out. He's smoking a fag.
I
2 months
know.
old.
Like
you know?
just like, know what it is. And
Yeah,
then
he's
just,
got a job.
This isn't for me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave, man.
I think you've been very good talking about the children, because it's very easy sometimes to try and turn the kids into content, isn't it? And
Oh, and no. And you know, I
that's good. going to be a
always
big legal thing in 10 years.
I
guarantee it.
never ever normally talk about my kids like in my stand up because not simply because of any moral thing or ethical thing. Just
They're no crack.
Just because I always did want to be one of those comedians. Like,
No, fair enough. Yeah, that makes a lot of
you
sense.
know, I didn't want all my bits to be about having kids. But then whenever I was like writing this show and like trying out stuff, I put in a lot of the things that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Like about the kids because I
Yeah.
went, fuck it. And it's more about not my children, but how I am as a parent.
Yeah, well,
If
that
you
makes
get
sense.
me, do you know what I mean?
I think that's the best way to joke
Because
about
like
your kids.
some comedians are like, yeah, my kids are so funny and they do this, and I'm like, no, I am not well.
It's about what it does to you.
Yeah,
isn't it? You
it's
know?
about how you are coping.
I haven't seen Diona before in a while, but I think she does that as well, where the joke isn't just my kid said something funny. It's like, my kid made me do this thing that I thought I'd
Yeah,
never do.
yeah.
Kid made me look at a knife longingly or something. I don't know.
Yeah, like, you know.
I'm not quoting Diona there. I don't know if she's
But
done
like
that.
sometimes driving down the road, you know, this is whenever I realized I had to maybe phone you and Pieta House. I was like
Oh, here, we'll cut that.
driving down the road, and sorry, clip that. Do you need to take that out? 'Cause that's
Actually,
where
no,
you
I
work.
don't. No, I don't actually mind people knowing because it doesn't operate up here. So no,
It
actually,
doesn't,
fuck it. Yeah,
But
we'll keep that.
I was like, you know, whenever I was driving, and my sister-in-law said this to me. She went, "Are you ever like driving your car and you just think I could just crash into this tree?"
The
could
intrusive thoughts
I
again.
could the old intrusive thoughts, yeah. But anyway, Frizy.
Do you know what's great? If you clip whatever you just said and put like sinister music over it when you're talking about, do you ever just want to drive into a tree? And then you suddenly go, but anyway, you brightened up so quick, you know?
Are you ever like driving your car and you just think I could just crash into this tree? Yeah, that is the intrusive thought. But anyway,
Push it down.
push it down. Tell them about it in 6 months' time when you're having an argument.
Frizy.
Frizy is a way
Oh,
of
here, I'm
saying tacky. Actually, do you know what I love about this word?
Aye.
Whenever you go do a deep dive on it, there's too many like adjectives.
Oh, yeah?
There's so many like variations on how people use
Oh,
this
it's
word.
like an all-purpose word.
Yeah,
It's like
really good.
Smurf in the Smurfs.
Yeah, like, oh, we're totally
done
smurfed.
smurfed
Oh, I
myself.
love it whenever somebody farted and we're like, who smurfed? Yeah, so Frizy.
Frizy.
I'm
Tacky.
away for a smurf.
I'm away for a wee smurf. That could be anything.
You dirty wee Smurf, you.
Aye, he's smurfing again. Here,
On
she caught him
on the Smurf. Yeah, she caught him smurfing in the cupboard. Smurf on the neighbour's wife. You could put it in a commandment as well. You could put that in all the. You know,
Thou shalt not smurf.
thy neighbour's wife, or ox, even, isn't it? Oh.
Keep the Smurf Day holy. That was very good. I would almost think we were comedians.
Sat there all day smurfing the smurf of myself.
On the Smurf's day.
Yeah, I'm on the Smurfs. Got a chippy last night and it was totally Smurfed.
And on the seventh, I keep going back to the Bible, but on the
Yeah.
seventh day, he smurfed.
Yeah. And that's why we Smurf on Sunday. Even God Smurfed on a Sunday.
These two make me feel funnier, these podcasts, you know?
Do
It's
they?
nice to make me try. This is what I've been thinking lately. I'm like, I think a lot of comedians might think I'm a little bit of not a boring person, but very dry because I'm always in promoter mode. Even if I'm on somewhere, I'd be like, oh, here I've got a couple notes about that, but if you want it, blah blah blah.
No,
And
I love
like,
it.
I like doing that, but
You have these wee throwaway comments sometimes that like are like
I don't mean to be cutting.
but they're
sometimes they're cut.
No, I mean like they're kind of they're double entendres in the most slow burn way because on the surface they're funny, right? And then a couple of minutes later you go do you know what I mean?
Aye.
Like, but I was even, for example, you were on before and I said, this haircut, like a fuck
Yes,
boy.
yeah.
And I was like, you look like you're going to ride my sister and then not give her
Yeah,
a call
yeah.
back. And you were like, oh, we'd call her back.
Out of
Out of
courtey.
And then I was like, that's funny. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, that's really cheeky. Out of courtesy, like, you know, I'm polite,
Yeah.
but like I really don't want
just
to.
so you know, I'm not ghosting you. Hang on.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is not
It's-
ghosting.
I'm
It's
not
over.
a rude person, you know. I just really didn't enjoy that Smurf we had last night.
I think I got very.
Your Smurf jobs are shite.
I think I got very tired early on of open mic comedians trying jokes on me in conversation. I was like, you know, it's probably just better to just not try to be funny all the time. And then I think over the years that became conflated with just not trying in conversation. So I'd be sitting there going like, and like not contributing a fucking thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, do try something. No, do try and speak. You know,
Like,
be
see
have
how
a
that goes up
personality.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, see how you get on. Like, good luck. When Luke says good luck, it really means
It's gonna be rough.
good luck.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard.
You
work.
need that.
Yeah, they're gonna
need
make you
all
earn
the
that.
Smurf you can get. That's fucking Luke. Like. So yes, this. Do you want to know? So if I was to actually try and guess some of the cinnamon rolls, so tacky, messy.
God. Disorganized. I suppose that's kind of another one, isn't it? Another way of saying the same thing. Tacky, messy, disorganized.
Dingy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dingy.
See, it's random.
Yeah.
Dingy.
Rude.
Gloomy.
Gloomy.
Musty.
Musty. Musty.
I get gloomy.
Yeah.
Frowsy, frown. You know.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
So you'd be like messy, gloomy. Musty and funky are two of the adjectives that...
Do you know what this is? This is slut, because didn't slut used to mean all that? Slut used to be like messy, untidy, untoward, and sort of a bit downhearted and all that
like
stuff.
slothy, lazy.
Yeah, maybe that's where it came from, slothing.
Untoward.
Yeah.
An
Yeah.
untoward slut.
Yeah, you
See,
big slut, yeah.
Slut was, you know, it's like, you know, all the initials. Something no,
Aye.
like posh
Right.
is port.
Port side out, starboard home.
Yes.
What? I didn't know that.
Did you not?
Oh, fuck, we're laughing and
Yes,
learning.
That's
where
because
posh
people
comes from.
who would have got the best seats on the boat had posh stamped on their ticket.
Oh, shit,
Port side out,
right.
starboard, which meant that you were on the way out, you could wave to everybody, and on the way home, you could wave to everybody.
Right, God, the
Yeah.
amount people pay to wave. Just
Mhm.
fucking write down bye.
I did
on
hear,
a
and
piece
I'm
of
not
paper.
sure if this is true, but I heard that shit was so called because, like, on sort of freight trains and in transit,
Aye.
they didn't want it like all settled on the bottom of the train, so it would say store high in transit.
Right. Oh, wow.
Shit.
Shit. Huh, nice.
I don't know. Like, I was told by somebody that was it
Mhm.
because I love those wee tidbits, but I don't know how much of that is shit.
So you could call someone a frowsy slut, but they get the
frowsy
posh
slut.
seats because they
Yeah.
eat shit. No, I don't know. I
Yeah.
can't remember what the...
Like, you know, you could say to somebody, you're just frowsy.
Yeah, don't be
You know, and they'd be
frowsy.
like, what?
It's quite withering. It's quite a put down.
Like, it's the way you say something, people know it's an insult.
Mm,
Do you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the way Belfast people can make anything sound.
Before
like
this
an
goes
insult.
on any longer, I want to clarify that slut isn't like an anagram of
it
anything.
not? Is it not?
I just wanted to stay inquire about that. and
I
then
would like
say-
to apologise for the misinformation spread like shit on this podcast.
Is that because your first name begins with an S that you're trying to turn this away? Sean
Yeah.
loves uterine
uterine
Ooh,
tract
tracts.
infections? Slutty.
Slutty.
South-leaning utility table.
South leaning utility table. I like it.
Yeah.
If you would like to join us on our Patreon
My utility table would fuck anyone.
and
Is
to
that?
hear what the dirty word of the week is,
Smurf anyone?
please consider subscribing. And we absolutely love you. Luke and I are going to be in Lisburn next Friday.
Lisburn, underrated.
Underrated as fuck.
It's got a nice river, actually. No, see, you go to the Island Arts Centre, don't even need to see the art. I just sometimes sit in the car park and
And
look at the
look at
water.
the wee fountain that goes
Yeah.
up and like.
Was there a wee fountain to see? I
Do you remember? It used to be. Is it not
so
like
much
that
to
anymore?
see. So much to
It's like
see.
water used to shoot up.
Don't.
Now
hurt
people
us.
just shoot up near the water. That's a joke. We're in
banger,
Thornbury's in
banger.
Lisburn next week. Next Friday. Stay tuned. You'll be watching this on the Saturday, which means that the following Friday we shall be together making funnies and smurfing the fuck out of each other.
Are the
Smurfs with attitude.
are the tickets selling well?
I have no idea. But
Better not to
actually,
know.
so far, I actually think that, like, please do get in there quickly because I think more than half the tickets are gone.
You had a couple of sellers and all
So
already, haven't you?
it should be a good one.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
yeah,
people who didn't get to come to the Sunflower and stuff, like the local ones.
And the
going to
Reno.
Lisburn.
It's not that far. It's only an extra 10, 15 minutes in the car, you know. You better
Yeah. You can park your car in Lisburn, just
Yeah.
leave it there and come into Belfast
stick it in
after.
front of the river. Yeah.
Yeah. But Thornbury's is a great wee like venue, I think.
Yeah.
Like it's
I've not
lovely.
actually done it. I've heard
Go
it's great, though.
upstairs. I think it's bring your own. Let me look into that.
I should
But,
probably have asked Sean, you know.
yeah.
Big love to the Hags.
Big love to the Higgs.
Mm.
Hegarty. Oh, that's right. It was Sean Hegarty. Yes.
Mm.
The thing. But yes, thank you so much. And come on over to our Patreon. Give us a quid or whatever you can afford. You know, thank you.
Ooh, up the Smurfs.
Ooh, fucking love it.
Just yes. Also promoting stuff. my TikTok. That's it. I stuck up Instagram as well. I stuck up
Who is Luke McGibb?
I stuck up a wee sketcher the other day that I was actually quite happy with.
Oh my
was
God,
really
can
good.
I just say, I proper LOL with that. Is that
great.
the man that was walking to the back
Yeah.
of her?
Yeah.
I'll not give it away.
It's
but
not doing great numbers, but I'm not trying to focus on that. But I'm like, I may as well promote it. Do you know
No,
what I mean?
it was fucking brilliant.
I think you just it's one of them things where it's like if you focus on the numbers, you'll kill yourself. You know, you have to be like, just put out something that I think is good
Yeah,
and just
like
go.
it's about the
but-
frequency that you do it, not like
Yeah,
you know,
it's the algo gods,
yeah, the
isn't
old
it? You know,
algorithm gods. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time I hear algorithm, I think of like the rhythm method or something. Do you know what I mean?
oh, I get you. Yeah, yeah.
The rhythm method. That's what we're trying to do on TikTok. Yeah, pull it out just in time, out of the bag. Anyways,
Sorry, sign off.
God, yes.
oh, here can we both do our thing at the same time?
Oh,
We're
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
right,
yeah,
ready?
yeah. Do we look away?
And we'll say, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, okay.
Goodbye.
Okay.
1, 2. Thanks for joining us.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
That's pretty good. Again.